Good evening. We begin tonight with a harrowing tale of survival. Two Okanagan men got more of an adventure than they bargained for. They set sail for a tropical trip, but ended up spending nearly 3 days on a tiny dinghy after their boat capsized. And if not for a piece of life-saving technology, they wouldn't be alive to tell their story. This easily could have been how it ended for two BC men, adrift in a dinghy 130 kilometers off Costa Rica. For 50 hours, they rowed in a frantic but futile effort to get ashore. Judd Baker wore his hands raw trying.
Didn't matter where I tried to go, the current just said, no, you're going this way, buddy. And I just couldn't do it.
Baker and travel mate John Davidson were on their return from a sailing trip in a 13-meter trimaran when the real adventure began.
Again, I hear this crash. What the heck was that?
Damage from earlier in the trip was too much. The boat began to break apart.
Tried calling Mayday. No response. Right, gave my location, Mayday. Okay, it's not working. All right, tie the steering wheel down. Let's get the dinghy in the water.
The boat sank. For nearly 3 days, the pair drifted with no food and no water. But they each had a GPS locator, and the distress signals were picked up in Victoria.
It's sending a signal out telling the rescuers where they are rather than the individuals that pulled it. So that was the thing that made the difference. And there's lots of people that sail without these.
A U.S. Coast Guard aircraft spotted them from the air, and a freighter made the rescue.
We're slamming up against the hull, and finally they got a rope to us, pulled us into the door thing there. They dropped down a lifeline.
It wasn't until Baker was aboard that ship that it all sunk in.
And it was overwhelming. Right? It was just like, wow, I don't know if I could make it another day.
Despite it all, Baker says he hopes to get another boat one day and sail again. A Vancouver Island physician, he is spending the holiday season apart from his family to work in Haiti treating patients suffering from cholera. The UN is calling on the Haitian and international governments to pull together to fight the disease. And as the Victoria doctor knows, getting help on the ground quickly is the key to success. Stephen Andrew has more.
This Victoria physician is spending precious time with his family. Time that he would normally be enjoying on Christmas morning.
We have this slogan at home that we always say at the table, and it's to do your share and let the love go around. So I think, Christmas is a time that we often think of giving and receiving, and I think this is a good way for us to put into action the commitment that we have for our community, both here and far away.
Monday morning, Dr. Azaria Martiman is leaving for Haiti to help treat thousands of people suffering from cholera. His inspiration came when he received an email from the humanitarian group Samaritan's Purse, pleading for medical personnel to volunteer in its clinics.
The number needed to maintain the treatment center there is really dwindled down because of the Christmas season. So I think that's basically a response to the call that was there, and there's definitely the need right at this moment.
When A News visited cholera treatment centers in Port-au-Prince last month, the demand for doctors was already at a crisis level. The outbreak has killed over 2,400 people since mid-October. Today, the UN says post-election violence could further hamper efforts to fight the epidemic. It's a frustrating situation for the UN and other humanitarian agencies, because cholera is entirely preventable and treatable.
This is a real opportunity to say together we can overcome cholera. And it would be a pity if history blamed us because of the political turmoil for letting this opportunity slip.
Dr. Azaria Martiman agrees. He says Canadians are known to be generous, and if there's one thing he wants people to think about, it's this.
We each give a little extra and take less. We would probably have less suffering in the world.
A Christmas wish, perhaps, but for the Martiman family, one that's about to become a reality. In Esquimalt, Stephen Andrew, A News.
There's one thing you likely won't be getting for Christmas this year: the flu. The BC Centre for Disease Control and the Vancouver Island Health Authority say there have been surprisingly few cases so far this season. Mary Beth Burton has the story.
Flu shots are available on Vancouver Island, but not many people seem interested in them.
It's quiet, yes. Certainly this year we have seen a drop in the number of people who are wanting to get flu shots. And that's probably just because there isn't a pandemic, there isn't so much media coverage, people aren't being constantly reminded to go and get their flu shot. We are experiencing very mild activity for influenza, not only on Vancouver Island, but all across BC and in fact all across Canada.
Remember last year, flu shot lineups went on for hours. Both the regular flu shot and a separate free H1N1 shot were available everywhere.
We've been here since about 8:45 this morning. It took about 4 hours to be able to get through with a blue ticket, which is your registration. And then what you do is you get this yellow ticket and a white ticket if you get both vaccinations.
There were daily updates from the provincial health officer on the pandemic.
I mean, the delay in offering the vaccine isn't what anybody hoped to see.
The media blitz proved effective when the season ended. Roughly 400 Canadians died of H1N1. That's well below an average flu year. Public Health Canada says 750 to 2,500 Canadians suffer flu-related deaths every year. So why isn't public health pushing vaccines like they did last year?
The precautionary measures that we're taking around influenza haven't changed. We still urge people to stay home if they're sick so that they don't spread the illness to other people, to get their vaccinations. That's always important. Always to wash their hands and to exercise good coughing and sneezing etiquette.
This year, children under 2, seniors over 65, people with chronic health problems, and medical professionals get free vaccines. VHA flu clinics run for another 5 weeks. Contact your local public health unit or family doctor for more information. In Victoria, Mary Beth Burton, A News.
Less than a week after being given approval to build a housing development, Ian Van Trite has begun to lay the groundwork on the family farm. A power shovel was cutting a swath today where a future road will go. Van Trite says crews are simply preparing the land, scraping away topsoil to the clay bed underneath and protecting it from erosion with a layer of crushed gravel. Central Saanich slapped a stop work order on the construction, and Van Trite has agreed to stop excavating until the proper permits go through. The municipality has given permission to finish covering the existing excavation with gravel. Van Trite says that will be done tomorrow. Dramatic video from the dash cam of a Seattle police cruiser was released today from the officer who shot and killed a Vancouver Island First Nations woodcarver. It happened in August. John Williams is seen slowly walking across the street, carving a stick of wood. The officer pulls over and walks off screen, first instructing, then yelling at Williams to drop his knife. The officer then fires 5 shots.
Hey! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
After the shooting, before backup arrives, the officer is heard telling a woman Williams had a knife and wouldn't drop it. Williams' knife had a 3-inch blade, one that is legal under the Seattle Municipal Code. A preliminary investigation found that Williams' shooting was not justified. Williams was a member of the Dididat First Nation. An inquest into his death has been set to begin January 10th. A 5-year veteran of the Nanaimo RCMP has been charged with assault causing bodily harm. The alleged incident happened August 1st as RCMP say Constable Francois Villette returned for a second time to the scene of a noisy party complaint. The next day, one of the partygoers made a formal complaint, claiming to have been hit in the face by the officer. The officer was placed on administrative duty while the investigation was underway. The RCMP says he will remain on desk duty while awaiting a January 11th court date. Taxpayers aren't going to be left on the hook for any extra costs for the Vancouver Olympic Games. When Vancouver landed the Winter Games, skeptics warned of a deficit. Optimists predicted a surplus. In the end, both sides were wrong. Today, VANOC CEO John Furlong announced the Games broke even at $1.9 billion.
Has approved our financial results. We are at a balanced budget situation. We're very proud of it.
Furlong admits it was a challenge balancing the budget, given the global financial downturn and the unseasonably warm weather. The $1.9 billion that was spent does not include the cost of building the venues. That was covered by federal and provincial taxpayers. A PricewaterhouseCoopers study released by the province suggests that the Games pumped $2.5 billion into the BC economy. $148,050. That's how much CIVI Santa's Anonymous raised during today's Miracle on Broad radiothon. Volunteers worked the phones all day at our studios on Broad Street in downtown Victoria, collecting donations from individuals and local businesses. CIVI Santa's Anonymous raises money to help families and children in need during the holidays and throughout the year.
Our community is a giving spirit who cares about families and children in need, and this is why it's a miracle today. This will go to support our food program for the hamper program this year.
Bruce Williams, who serves on the board of CIVI Santa's Anonymous, along with Hudson Mack, answered phones today and some other A News personalities. And that total again, $148,050. A North Island wilderness area largely untouched by commercialization could become a playground for wealthy tourists. Coming up on A News at 11, a high-end resort wants to extend its operations into Strathcona Park, but the plan isn't sitting well with some park users.
Hi, I'm Bruce Williams in Victoria. It's cold. It's cold out here. It's cold where you are. It's going to be a cold weekend. Let's take a look at the current conditions, see how cold they are. Here's what's going on from the School Net Weather Centers, and I will be back with your full forecast on A News.
Grandma, can we get this from Uncle Nick? Sure. Yes, okay. The computer guy gave us all the info we need and showed me how to set it up. It's super easy. It's perfect. This one's yours, Uncle Nick.
So what did I get my cracker?
Uncle Nick, look.
You better save that for me when I get home. I really miss you guys.
Nobody does it better, except maybe you.
Honey, can I give you your gift early this year?
Sure.
Cue the lights.
And here it is. A new Canon digital SLR.
This week, find a great selection of Canon cameras on sale starting at $74.99. Or give the gift of choice with a Best Buy gift card. Best Buy.
You're going to die if you don't do something about this.
Every Sunday on Much More.
New episodes of Celebrity Rehab.
You need some vital signs here? What has she been taking?
These Hollywood celebrities had it all.
I'm an alcoholic and a chemically dependent woman and lost it all. My life has spun out of control. Nothing will ever change if you just walk away from it.
A brand new season of Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
Every Sunday at 7.
I'm being driven now.
Only on Much More.
I'm tired of fighting harder than the patient.
When it comes to choosing the right brush, you should listen to your dentist. Fight plaque with Oral-B. Inspired by dental tools, Oral-B power brushes clean away plaque in ways a manual brush can't. No wonder it's the #1 dentist recommended toothbrush brand worldwide. Fight plaque with real power. Oral-B power. Find the perfect holiday gift at a store near you.
Wilderness Resort wants to extend its operations into Strathcona Park, turning it into a playground for wealthy tourists. Opponents say the park needs to be protected, or more companies will follow and the wilderness will be destroyed. A News reporter Gord Curvis has the story.
It promotes itself as being one of the top family wilderness destinations in the world. But now plans by the Clayoquot Wilderness Resort are raising concerns with an island environmental group.
We have problems with a lot of things about this permit application. We have problems with the actual resort itself.
The resort is open 4 months per year and offers high-end experiences for those wanting to mix luxury with the great outdoors. The resort applied 8 years ago to add horseback riding into the park. Those opposed to the plan say the infrastructure that will have to come with it is too high a price for the park to pay.
Building bridges and doing everything to mitigate the damage that horses can do is not a minimal way of doing things.
But the resort's manager says they already have park permits for fishing and hiking into the area and feels horseback riding will be a good addition.
So I sort of thought that it was a great concept and a great opportunity. Open it up for horseshoes as well as open it up for the public to go into Strathcona Park from the west side.
The manager says much of the riding would be along an old mining road and would meet the same type of conditions and criteria as other parks that currently allow horses. He contends there won't be a big impact.
When I take people into the park, whether it's hiking or fishing, or now potentially maybe horseback riding, these people from different parts of the world that we have at our resort, they're going to be taught that respect level of what and how the park should be used.
But the Friends of Strathcona Park, which formed back in the mid-'80s over concerns about mining in the region, fears this will be the start of more commercial involvement in the park.
Over the last 10 years, parks have been strangled
until now, it's almost a desperate situation.
The friends are raising the issue now because even though the application process has taken 8 years, they feel a decision against their wishes will be made soon. In the Comox Valley, Gord Kervis, A News.
The man police say is one of BC's top gangsters will spend 7 years behind bars on 10 weapons-related charges. Sentenced to 7 years, but Jamie Bacon will serve only 3 and 8 months because the judge gave him double credit for time already served. Bacon was charged after police found weapons hidden in a secret compartment of his vehicle more than 3 years ago. The alleged gang leader is also accused of murder in the drug-related killing of 6 men in Surrey in 2007, including